Today we are taking a look at a paralegal who has $86,000 in debt. She's blowing $700 a month on the fun stuff. She has multiple credit cards, personal loans, student loan debt, everything. We're gonna get into it in this episode. Hey fam, welcome back to the Debt Free Millennials channel. I'm your host, Justine. We have a series here on the channel called Millennial Real Life Budget Review, where real millennials anonymously submit their budgets to me in hopes of gaining some outside perspective on their budgets, their financial struggles and goals. And so when I saw this application come through for this paralegal, I thought I have to do a video on this one. This paralegal lives and works in Atlanta, Georgia. The biggest thing they struggle with financially is debt. Their top 2 to 3 goals they want to accomplish is to become debt-free, 1-year emergency fund, and a hefty vacation fund. I'm curious about hefty vacation fund because hefty vacation fund could mean an annual trip to the Bahamas, or it could be a trip to Europe, or maybe it's something fun where you're going on a weekend trip to Chicago. So the more specific you can get with your goals, the more likely you're going to achieve them, because you're envisioning yourself in the Bahamas with a pina colada on the beach in the sand with blue waters. But maybe that's just me. Going into the rest of their application, how much do you have in savings for an emergency fund? They said 0. Just wiped it out for a car emergency. Anything else they'd like to add about their financial situation? They said, I'm 34, single mom of a 4-year-old boy, and guardian to my 17-year-old nephew. Okay, so let's hop into their budget and see what's going on. So this paralegal, single mom and a guardian to her nephew, amazing, has planned on a $4,625 budget. This says salary only, and then let's see what's over here. Salary plus extra income average last 3 months. Cool, so they're making extra income somewhere, either, I don't know if it's overtime or a side hustle, but she's bringing in about $5,000 cash per month, which is awesome. I want to go over to the debt table here, because the thing that caught my eye is there are a lot of debts and a lot of high interest debt. This is insane. So USAA, she owes $1,000, 29.15% interest. Citibank owes $1,400, 29.99% interest. Then you got the student loans of nearly $60,000. We've got Credit One, 29.24% with $453 on it. Capital One Platinum, oh my gosh, 32.24% interest. That is insane on $1,900. Another one that you have 2 Upstart loans, one for 30% and one for almost 26%, and we've got about $6,000 split between the 2 of them. Capital One Auto, so this must be your car loan, of about $15,000, and then you have the ASEMA, I think this is a buy now pay later program, of about $904. So the amounts themselves, the total balances themselves, except for the student loan debt, aren't high balances. The problem is you have such high interest rates that it's absolutely crushing you in all different areas. And I'm curious what your credit limit is, because you have so many different credit cards kind of spread out with balances on them. So if you're hitting those credit limits of just like, you know, $500 or $1,000, this is a big issue because it's going to impact your credit score. I think a better method for you, if you're really interested in building your credit score in a healthy way that's not going to ding you, would be eliminating all of these, stop using them completely, and jumping into a card like Fizz. Fizz is a debit card, and you can actually build up your credit using Fizz. Now, it's geared towards college students, but anybody can use it. So you can use that as a way, and they actually set your credit limit for the card based off of what is actually in your bank account, because it's synced to your bank account. And then it's automatically paid off every single day. Could be a smart move for you to clean up all of this stuff. And speaking of cleaning up, because we still have to pay it off, right? We're gonna get into your debt payoff plan in just a second. I also wanna hop down to your budget, because what I was noticing was a lot of money was spent on the fun and discretionary stuff. So you have a rent mortgage payment, we're not sure. So you don't have a mortgage listed up here, so maybe this is your rent, of $1,236. I want to know what percentage that is of your take home. All right, so 25%, not bad, not bad. We've got your utilities in there, your car insurance. Oh, you do rent, so $25.50 for your renter's insurance. Car insurance of $400, holy cow, per month? That's insane. That's so expensive. I really hope that's for 2 cars at least. Even then, $200 a month is ridiculous. Please go and check out my car insurance video. I'm gonna link to it up here in the cards for you to check out. It's an older video, but the rules still apply. Be sure to take a look at how much you are maxing out in your liability, collision, comprehensive coverages, because there are some numbers that you can play with that could help get you that number down, unless you were charged with a speeding ticket or a DUI or something like that that has that car insurance way up there. Holy cow. Daycare of only $380. Oh, split with my son's father. This is my portion. Cool. Amazing. $380 a month. That's amazing. Groceries looks great. Average from last 3 months, $342. That's amazing. Gas, average of $171 per month. Okay. And then an average of about $58 on car maintenance stuff. So yeah, I would just use these averages as a way to budget for the next month. Now let's go down to fun, because I was noticing a lot of stuff on your fun spending, namely personal spending. Okay, $350 was just personal spending. And I'm not sure if that's clothes, hair, nails, massages, fun, bars, entertainment, whatever it may be. This is money that we could absolutely, actually the whole entire thing. This is how I knew it was over $700, because I added it all up between your subscriptions and the fun money spending. Like fast food alone, you've got $130. You got $225 on eating out, which wouldn't be so bad if we didn't have over $1,000 or over $1,200 in debt payments that we're making every single month. So this has to be cleaned up. I suggest, and I don't want you to cut out all of the fun money spending. I want you to live your life. I suggest really tracking for the next 2 weeks what personal spending means to you. And to take this a step further, I would love for you to think about some of your contentment activities. Contentment activities are the things that you love to do that feed your values, that also don't cost anything. So I'll give you an example of some of my contentment activities. One of my favorite things to do is take long baths. So I typically like get in a bath, have my meditation music going on, light a candle, do some bath salts, all the stuff I already have, okay? I'm not going out and buying this, but this is something I already have. Another thing that I like to do, I love to journal. I love to doodle in my sketchbook. I watch Mira Byler. She's here on YouTube. She's amazing. If you love to doodle draw, or you're not good at it, but you just want to do something to just get your hand moving and just release it from your brain, this is excellent activity that actually feeds my creative side of myself. Going outside, going for walks, hiking, beach, lake, parks, pool, anything that is free for you to do and accessible, that is something you need to start incorporating on a weekly basis. Take your son. I think it would be so fun. This is an area we absolutely have to clean up. $700 per month on the fun stuff when we have $86,000 in debt. We've got to reshift the priority. Plus, you don't have anything in your emergency fund. And that's the first step. You said you wanted a 1-year emergency fund. That is going to take some time, and I know you can get there, but we have to really start with a 2 to 3 month emergency fund that's equal to 2 to 3 months of basic living expenses, which would be this stuff up here. So you've got about $3,000 for basic living expenses right now. I would love for you to have between $6,000 and $9,000 set aside in your emergency fund to get you started. Then we're gonna move on to the next step and start paying down your debt. So let me take a look up at your budget, because you've allocated everything. Let me go back here. We need more than $100 going towards the emergency fund. Debt payoff is on hold until we have the emergency fund put together. Same with investing. And I am going to, you have all this zeroed out. This is weird because you're spending, well, you have your actual $5,000 here. You're just overspending in some of these areas. So I want to get you in a place where I think this could go down to $175. So now I got $225 to play with. Yeah. 325 is what I can do from your planned budget. Obviously, you're pulling in more than the 4,600. So if you're truly experiencing a month where you're bringing in more than $4,600, I want you to take that additional surplus of income and add it to your emergency fund. Because at this rate, it's just going to take you too long to get that starter emergency fund. 18 months. I mean, I think we could actually get this done a lot faster if I know that you're bringing in more than the 4625 and we're watching some of these other spending areas. That's the first key to your financial plan here. And honestly, the first key is doing the budget, which you've already put together very, very nicely. So I love that you did this. I'm gonna hop over to the debt reduction calculator because I wanna show you what this could look like for your specific situation. I'm gonna go off of today's date. These are all of the debts that you had listed, the balances, the rates, the payments, all that stuff. So if you are still wanting to work on this debt payoff plan and you wanted to work it from paying off the highest interest rate first, then we would be going after this Capital One Platinum, the 32%. You'd have it paid off in 10 months with just the minimum monthly payment of the $1,250. Once your emergency fund is funded to that starter amount of 2 to 3 months, you can pick between $6,000 to $9,000. I want you to have enough money in savings that covers most unexpected expenses, including the thing like you said with the car emergency. Car emergencies and car repairs sometimes can be thousands of dollars. So we want to make sure we have that money set aside in your high yield savings account, ideally. So once we get that funded, then you have an additional $325 to add to the $1,250 is what I rounded to. So what is that? That's $1,575. So that's the additional $325, and wow, even just the additional $325 that you could put towards your debt makes everything so manageable. The first year alone is really, really fun for you because you're paying off a ton of those high interest cards. So you'd have Capital One paid off in 5 months, Upstart 8 months, in the same period, in the same month, you'd pay off Citibank and Credit One. The next month, USAA. I'm telling you, once you get that emergency fund, that should be like the inspo for this because this debt payoff plan is really amazing. The student loans are going to take a little bit longer. However, as you're working this plan over the next year to 2, as a paralegal, your job is stable. You're not going anywhere unless that firm was to go under and then you'd have to find a replacement job. I'm assuming that you'll be able to increase your salary over the next 2 to 3 years, which will make this debt payoff plan go by even faster. I just looked at Avalanche, but oh my gosh. If you do Snowball, I kind of like Snowball better for you. Even though Snowball, you're going to be paying off the lowest outstanding balance first and then go to the highest outstanding balance. What I love about Snowball, I personally did Snowball, is that it gives you that quick win, that motivation to be like, oh my gosh, it really only took me 2 months to pay off Credit One. That was easy. Oh my gosh, the next month, it only took me 3 months to pay off this buy now, pay later program. And the next month, it just goes and goes. So we're talking about months 2, 3, 4, 6, 9, 11. Wow, you have wiped out the majority of your debt working this strategy. Honestly, I like both of them for you. Both are great. Obviously, with Avalanche, it's going to take you a little bit longer to hit that first one. But I mean, gosh, paying off a 32% interest credit card feels kind of nice, and doing that first. So I think you've got options here. You can do Snowball, you can do Avalanche. I really want you to go back and work this budget and track it closely, because the $700 spent on fun is, you didn't even plan on that. That's the crazy thing. You didn't even plan on spending that amount, and you actually did spend it. So we need to go back and be intentional with the budget, intentional with the activities and the things, the way that we're spending our time, so that it's reflective of your core values, which is why I mentioned the contentment activities. And then getting smart with how you are dealing with your debts. And by cleaning that up, building the credit in a healthy way by using something like Fizz. If you're interested in using Fizz, you can use my link below and use the code debtfree to get a $10 sign up bonus. So I feel like this would be an easy win for you, just to start turning things around, both on the credit side and then also on the debt side and the budget side, all the sides. If you are interested in getting your budget reviewed anonymously on the channel with no hate and no judgment, I think this person is doing the best they can with what they're doing, and they just needed some outside perspective to really shift things in a positive way. Fill out the Google form below. The more details that you can give me, the better. And I prioritize applications who use my budget template. I've had people upload different templates, and it's very hard for me to figure out, because it's like you created something in your own world, and it's hard for me to understand, wait, where's the expenses? Where's the debt? So I prioritize the ones that use my template, because this template is easy to use. By the way, you can get this template for free using the toolkit link below or heading to debtfreemillennials.com/toolkit. If you like this series, you want to see more, give it a big thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you want to build financial confidence, you want to pay off debt, you want to get better with money, you want to hit your financial goals with other millennials, come on, come join. Hit the red subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next video.